Happy New Year! It is time for the best Irish and Celtic music of 2025. This is the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, show number 740. Welcome to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, helping you celebrate Celtic culture through music. I am Mark Gunn. I am a Celtic musician and also host of Pub Songs and Stories. Every song has a story. Every episode is a toast to Celtic and folk songwriters. Discover the stories behind the songs from the heart of the Celtic pub scene. This podcast is for fans of all kinds of Celtic music. We are here to build a diverse Celtic community and help the incredible artists who so generously share their music with you. If you hear music you love, please email the artist. Let them know you heard them on the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Remember that musicians depend on your generosity to release new music. This is something that in the past I've talked a lot more about, and I think I should do it again, but we are in a even more challenging time. Musicians today are experiencing even greater challenges than ever, and that is in large part because, well, inflation. I'm getting paid the same amount that I got paid 20 years ago as a musician. So, and from what I understand, it hasn't really changed since like the 80s. So, it is very difficult to make a living as a musician. That is one of the reasons why I always ask you to support the musicians that you love by buying their CDs, album pins, shirts, digital downloads, joining their community on Patreon, or just even giving tips to the musicians, because that really makes a deep impact on all of our lives as musicians, because that's how we make a living, is through your generosity. So if you want to find out more about the artists in the show, you can visit the show notes at CelticMusicPodcast.com. I list all the artists. I include websites when I can, and also include show times. So go, again, check it out at CelticMusicPodcast.com. You can also email follow@bestcelticmusic.net to learn how to subscribe and to get a free music-only episode. You'll also learn how to get your band played on this podcast. Bands don't need to send in any music. All you need to do is send an email to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. You'll also get a free ebook called Celtic Musician's Guide to Digital Music. This is the best Celtic music of last year, 2025. I hope you had a great time listening throughout the year. I really appreciate everyone who voted in the Celtic Top 20 to help us pick these songs. In each episode, I ask you to vote for as many songs and tunes that inspire you, that you love. You vote for them in our Celtic Top 20 poll over on Patreon. You have 3 weeks to vote. At the end of the year, I compile all those votes. And again, the more times you vote, the more your vote counts for each of those little sections. So, at the end of the year, I compiled a list of how many times people voted for each song and tune, and this is the result. And so what I picked is the top 10 songs and the top 10 tunes. Songs, of course, being vocal and tunes being instrumental. So we kicked off the show, for instance, with Kinnfolk. That was the Triple Crown set from their brand new album, Star Above the Mountain. Josh and Julie Kinn are an amazing duo out of Virginia, and I am surprised and excited to announce that they will be performing at the Irish and Celtic Music Podfest that's happening Sunday, March 8th, 2026 at the Lost Druid Brewery in Avondale Estates, Georgia. I am really excited about this festival. I actually posted a standalone podcast over on Patreon to talk a little bit about it, because it is kind of important to me. I've long thought about putting together a Celtic music festival. I certainly know the bands. The challenge, of course, is paying the bands and giving them a fair wage, and among the many other challenges, like, finding volunteers to help make this festival a huge success. Right now, there will be only 3 bands that are performing at this event. Kinnfolk is one of them. I will be performing there as well. The final band I will announce hopefully next week, so stay tuned for that. I also want to remind you that there's a Kickstarter that is coming very, very soon. It will include a compilation of many of the songs that are on this podcast episode, but it will also help fund the Irish and Celtic Music Podfest. So your generous support is greatly appreciated. So please help out if you are willing and able. I would really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you. All right, let's get on with this show. I am so excited. So again, for this whole year, I've had you vote for your favorite songs, and these are the ones that stood at the top, the cream of the crop from 2025, and there's some absolutely spectacular music. We're going to continue on with Niamh Dunne. This is Ballyneety's Walls from Portraits.
history. Forgive me for my shame, the wrongs of dear old Ireland, the oppression and the pain. There's men that fight for freedom, but I fight for love. My son was taken early and killed near Holy Grove, a martyr for his country. He met with violent death, and I swore to God Almighty I pledge him my last breath. So here I stand beside the men in the echo of the guns, their 1916 rising. It's a fight for my son. Now I am of low station, in birth and life alone. This struggle's worth its waiting, the body's sure to fall. But regardless of the danger, I'll smuggle guns and bombs past British troops now stationed round streets where I was born. It was dark and I was fearful. In a din of smoke and fire, I shot an English soldier, his head above the wire. But I did not see my Michael, no ghost nor spirit rise. I'd have wept through all the fighting if custom let me cry. Bombarded to our places, with the buildings crashing round. Oh, but none among could face it, surrender to the crown. But words of consternation of children on the ground, we could not face it, so we put our weapons down. Now marching to our faith with our lives no longer bound to time and respiration. A flood of memories now, my child, I'll soon be with you, if God of light allows. Freeze this darkened history of Ireland's struggle now.
After Niamh Dunne came Natalie Padilla with Balsamroot from her album Montana Wildflower. Then Ireland's Struggle by Socks in the Frying Pan from Waiting for Inspiration. And we finished that set with Annie's by Scottish Fish from their album Currently. I do love getting your feedback each and every week. So if you have any questions or comments, send it to follow@bestcelticmusic.net. If you hear that there's a new Celtic CD or a new Celtic band that you find, make sure you, again, email me, follow@bestcelticmusic.net. Woodland Folk sent a whole bunch of photos as usual. They write, "Hello, my friend. I do not have an album, though would like to send a recording for you to consider. This would be considered amateur and would take some time before I can record the fiddle. It is not easy thing to record. I have an old style Go mic. Also, my ability would mean a fair amount of preparing and practice beforehand. Save for a drop in my case should anyone wish and were passing. I'm not at the point where I would need to be promoted yet. Preparing anything to send you would in itself be a privilege and learn experience, though I understand if a band with a presence would appreciate the space you give them and need that space more. Would a show from the street performance angle be possible? Maybe a podcast dedicated to the more transient path?" Thank you so much, Woodland Folk. Woodland Folk was actually writing about last week's episode, and that's the one where I had a mix of live performances as well as some stories from Heather Dale. And I do want to do this again. I want to put together a podcast episode that features you playing Celtic music. It might be multiple podcast episodes. I'm going to plan for it for December of next year. This does not have to be professionally recorded. You can pull out your phone and send in a recording, try to make it sound good as possible. And we'll do a little touch up on our end if we need to, but send it in to me, follow@bestcelticmusic.net. I would love to share that with everyone next year. I think it's a great idea for a good community building project. So send in your music. It doesn't have to be professional. It doesn't have to be a big band or whatever. Just send something in. Patrick Reiger emailed some photos. "Hi, Mark. Yes, more feedback. I love letting you and your audience know about the incredible musicians my family and I get to see, and I hope they get to see them as well. Labor Day weekend, the three of us joined again by our Chenna from Nashville for 3 days at the Ohio Renaissance Festival. The weather was perfect. As you undoubtedly know, Ren Fair garb can be quite uncomfortable when the weather is hot and humid, but not that weekend. The first show of the weekend was the Lady Victoria, hammer and dulcimer player. During the depth of the pandemic, I was posting photos of Fair on Instagram to help remind people we would eventually get back to the fun, and found someone called the Lady Victoria was liking some of my photos. Then I learned we had about a dozen mutual friends, and she had played my home fair of Pittsburgh, which led to a friendship. In the afternoon, Victoria leads a group called the Medieval Minstrels, including the Toasted Clover on ukulele and Shonos on flute. Captain John Stout leads everyone in a health to the company at the end of the day. The captain and I first met back in 2008 at Pittsburgh, where he was a part of the Porter and Stout. Great music and also lots of great stories. We also saw the Queen's Choice Singers for the first time. The summer isn't over. We still have another fair to go, and we'll be seeing other Celtic musicians, so be on the lookout for more feedback. Thank you so much, Patrick. I actually got to meet the Lady Victoria for the first time at the Georgia Renaissance Festival just a couple weeks back. This, of course, came in during the summer, so I apologize for all the delays, but sometimes it takes a while before I end up sending out your messages. Go check out those photos in the show notes. Finally, oh, you know what? I'll save this one for the next little break. Let's get back to the music. Carey is up next with Nach Muladach from her album The Last Bough.
Muladach, Duine, Fhèin, Shinnin Shins mar ha, Misha, Threek mi Shillig Nunje. Shinnin Shins mar ha, Misha, Threek mi Shillig Nunje. Bag to sun talk, also guys to a sunje. Oh, hadido yoro, oh, hadido yore, oh, hadido yore, dido yore. Bag to sun talk, also guys to a sunje. Vegan, never cool and shame, oh, like nothing. to turn and temper clay. Last year I turned to betting and I found it wouldn't pay. I ran my dog in Wexford Park and I ran him in Ballystraw. In the latter place he lost the race when he stopped to lick his paw. Bad luck to gambling, I'm in an awful fix. Out of £4.6 and 8 all I have is 1 and 6. We'll go down to Shays or Kenny's and we'll drink a glass of grog and go home around the Brody singing Murphy's Running Dog. And he ran in Carey. He won a race in Thurles and he lost one in Athlone. He'd have ran away at the race that day but stopped to lick a bone. Bad luck to gambling, I'm in an awful fix. Out of £4.6 and 8 all I have is 1 and 6. We'll go down to Shays or Kenny's and we'll drink a glass of grog. Go home around Brody singing Murphy's Running Dog. Slips, and when the hare he sees, he shakes his knees and smacks his lips. I think I'm piles about a mile, and if he does not lose, 'tis awful start to muddy hearts and then go on the booze. Bad luck to gambling, I'm in an awful fix. Out of £4.6 and 8 all I have is 1 and 6. We'll go down to Shays or Kenny's and we'll drink a glass of grog and go home around in Brody's singing Murphy's Running Dog. Tapped upon the bridge and upon the wall, we'll drink it all, from there we will not budge. We'll sing the praise of Wexford's grace with cherries, beer and grog, and drown all care, I do declare, with Murphy's Running Dog. Bad luck to gambling, I'm in an awful fix. Out of £4.6 and 8 all I have is 1 and 6. We'll go down to Shays or Kenny's and we'll drink a glass of grog. Go home around in Brody singing Murphy's Running Dog. Is written here. I long to see the committee and the stewards do well next year. Bring your true love to Kilmarnock, boys, and if my greyhound wins, we'll dance all night till broad daylight in castles of salt mills. Bad luck to gambling, I'm in an awful fix. Out of £4.6 and 8 all I have is 1 and 6. We'll go down to Shays or Kenny's and we'll drink a glass of grog. Go home around in Brody singing Murphy's Running Dog. Bad luck to gambling, I'm in an awful fix. Out of £4.6 and 8 all I have is 1 and 6. We'll go down to Shays or Kenny's and we'll drink a glass of grog and go home around in Brody singing Murphy's Running Dog. We'll go home around in Brody singing Murphy's Running Dog.
After Kylie Carey came the Drowsy Lads with Lost and Found Hooley from Time Flies, then Weaver by Heather Dale from The Green Knight, Sheridan Rúitín was after that with Dean MacLeod from Only Savage, and we finished up the set with the Ciderhouse Rebellion with Molly Donnery. That was Murphy's Running Dog from A Little Bit Slanted. Joseph F. Dumond also emailed photos. What am I doing while listening to the latest Celtic music podcast? Hello, Mark. The last time I wrote to you, I explained how my walking distance increased as I walked while listening to the best Celtic music from Mark Gunn. And when I was not listening to the show, my pace slowed. I then urge you to call it something like the Irish Celtic Weight Watchers Walking Show. LOL, I forgot. I decided to do some of my work from an all-inclusive resort, Somalia Carib, in the Dominican Republic. The all-inclusive is killing my weight goal, so naturally I began to walk on the beach with the ocean lapping along the shore during the walk. And of course, I'm listening to the best Celtic music from the Irish and Celtic Music podcast. I have got to tell you that no matter which Celtic music you play, whether fast jigs or slow tunes, my pace in the sand or along the shoreline does not change. The rhythmic tunes of the waves crashing ashore is incredibly strong and soothing, and it alone decides my pace. While watching the entertainment here, I saw a lady playing a host of music on an electric violin. It was very beautiful. I asked her for her website or where I could get more of her music, but she had none. I will attach the short video so you can see her as she played. I was thinking of you. This would be a great place with international guests from around the world where you and your daughter could introduce them to the great Celtic music you play. And if you contact the resort or any other resorts, you could play and stay for next to nothing. Just a suggestion. Loving the latest shows from the beaches of Punta Cana. The pictures are to show you where I'm listening to your show. It is not meant to make you jealous, although it might. Thank you, Joseph. It does indeed make me jealous. That sounds just absolutely marvelous. I love the ocean. If you've heard my song Selkie's Life, it started off as just a song about me saying, I love the ocean. I love the ocean. This is great. And then I turned it into a song about the Selkie. But, so that is fantastic. I have thought about doing that. And maybe in my younger days, I might have, actually tried to go to a resort and, become an in-house musician. I still think about that every now and then, but it hasn't happened yet. So maybe one of these days. All right, let's get back to the music. I am so excited that the Gothard sisters have a brand new album out. It is called Moment in Time. If you didn't get a chance to listen to show number 737, I think it was, is that when I did the interview with the Gothard sisters? You can find out more about them there. Go check it out. In the meantime, here is Adventurer by the Gothard sisters.
they fight, and the boys chase the girls with the curls in their hair. And a sharp two-minute youth sit way over there, and the songs get louder, each one better than before. And you're singing the songs, thinking this is the life. And you wake up in the morning and your head is just the size. Where you're gonna go, where you're gonna go, where you're gonna see tonight. And you're singing the songs, thinking this is the life. And you wake up in the morning and your head is just the size. Where you're gonna go, where you're gonna go, where you're gonna see tonight. Where you're gonna see tonight. So you're heading down the road in your taxi for four, and you're waiting outside Jimmy's front door, but nobody's in, nobody's home till four. So you're sitting there with nothing to do, talking about Robert Ryder and his motley crew. And where you gonna go, where you gonna see it tonight. And you're singing the songs, thinking this is the life. When you wake up in the morning and your head is twice the size. Where you gonna go, where you gonna go, where you gonna see it tonight. And you're singing the songs, thinking this is the life. When you wake up in the morning and your head is twice the size. Where you gonna go, where you gonna go, where you gonna see it tonight. Where you gonna see it tonight. Where you gonna go, where you gonna sleep tonight. And you're singing the song, thinking this is the life. And you wake up in the morning and your head feels twice the size. Where you gonna go, where you gonna go, where you gonna sleep tonight. And you're singing the song, thinking this is the life. And you wake up in the morning and your head feels twice the size. Where you gonna go, where you gonna go, where you gonna sleep tonight. Where you gonna sleep tonight.
winds to the lagan again, and the lark sweetly sings o'er the green fertile plain. I'll take the road that is dearest to me, the road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea. For I've made many friends there on every green mile, and the folks always greet me with a wave and a smile. If I spend all my days there, it's happy I'll be, on the road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea. We've sat round the fireside when the winter winds blew, and we've laughed and we've sang till the night was well through. And we've had a good dram and a wee cup of tea on the road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea. These long summer days when we've tramped the hills o'er, to spend hours at Enan's on Cregan's wild shore, and the soft summer twilight made shadows to flee on the road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea. These days passing swiftly bring changes, I know, and as time marches on from this place we must go. But I'll always remember while my heart beats in me, the road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea. Well, the springtime returns to the lagan again, and the lark sweetly sings o'er the green fertile plain. I'll take the road that is dearest to me, the road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea. The road to Drommelemon that winds to the sea.
After the Gothard sisters came Screaming Orphans with This Is the Life, once again on the Celtic Top 20. That is from their album Paper Daisies. I wonder what new music they'll come up with this year. They seem to put out a new album fairly frequently, so I'm looking forward to finding out. I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying, you know. Doolin was after that with Mary's Jigs from their self-titled album Doolin. I know they released another album, at least one, a couple years back, and I've been unable to reach them to get more music from them because they are fantastic. And we finish up the set with The Road to Drumlaman. That's by Fialla from their newest album, A Rare Thing. Again, fantastic. Another one I think that was on the Best Of podcast last year. So keep checking them out. There's a lot you can hear, you can expect from them, I think. Thank you so much, patrons of the podcast. It is because of your generosity that this show keeps coming out nearly every single week. It doesn't just fund the show, it fuels a movement. It helps us share the magic of Celtic music with thousands of new listeners and grow a global community of music lovers. Your contributions pay for everything behind the scenes: audio engineering, stunning graphics, weekly issues of the Celtic Music Magazine, show promotion, and most importantly, buying the music we feature from indie Celtic artists. If you're not yet a patron, you are indeed missing out. Patrons get early access to episodes, usually a couple days at the very least, music-only editions, free MP3 downloads, exclusive stories and artist interviews, and a vote in the Celtic Top 20. Join us today to help keep the music alive, vibrant, and independent. A big thanks to our amazing Celtic legends. These folks pledge $25 or more per month, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thanks to Alan Schindler, Brian McReynolds, Bruce, Dan McDade, Daniel Ide, Dave and Rosie Donnelly, Emma Bartholomew, Gary R. Hook, Gerald F. Boyle, Jeff A., John Sharkey White II, Kelly Garrett, Linda McNeil, Margareta Silverstone, Marty Myers, Mike Schock, Miranda Nelson, Nancy Barnett, Rick Boyce, and Sean Callie. Thank you so much for your generosity and making this show happen. Here is your 3-step plan to support the podcast. Number 1, go over to our Patreon page. Number 2, decide how much you want to pledge every month. $4, $12, $25. We still have one more spot available for Underwriter for $100, but you can pick any amount that you find comfortable. So just pick one and support the podcast. Number 3, keep listening to the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast to celebrate Celtic culture through music. You can become a generous patron of the podcast on Patreon at songhenge.com. And of course, if you want to join me on a Celtic Invasion vacation, small group of people traveling to Celtic nations, we're going to Galicia this summer. You can find out details about all of my Celtic Invasions at celticinvasion.com. Next up on the show, we have Jigjam. This is Red Paddy on the Ridge from their album Phoenix.
very. Tater Wallace fun so all a martha the water gadinta. Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo very. Tater Wallace fun so all a martha the water gadinta. It's come again, no no yan. It's come again, very. It's come again, no no yan. Martha the water gadinta. Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo very. Tater Wallace fun so all a martha the water gadinta. Post on people to vary. Post on people to do snahy as by she all got their margin. Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo very. Tater Wallace fun so all a martha the water gadinta. Tall the water gadinta. Meal mo water ga tall the water ga meal mo water gadinta. Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo very. Tater Wallace fun so all a martha the water gadinta. Oh Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo, Tater Wallaroo very. Tater Wallace fun so all a gadinta. Dee dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum to the dum tickle dido to the dum dee idle dum to the re-dido or out dum tickle dum da to the re-do to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum tickle dum do dee idle dee do to the re-dum dee idle dum doodle dum da or out dum doodle dum da to the re-do to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum da dee idle dum to the re-dum day dee idle dido dum to the re-dido or out dum doodle dum da to the re-do to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum tickle dido dum dum to the re-day dee idle dido dum to the re-dido or out dum doodle dum da to the re-do to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum to the re-dum do dee idle dido to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido or out dum doodle dum da to the re-do to the re-da or out dum to the re-dido dum to the re-dum to the re-dum to the re-dido to the re-dum dee idle dum doodle dum do or out dum doodle dum da to the re-do to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum da dee doodle dum to the re-dum day dee idle dido dum to the re-dido or out dum doodle dum da to the re-do to the re-dum dee idle dum to the re-dido dum to the re-dido dum da to the re-day to the re-do dee idle dum to the re-dido or out dum doodle dum da to the re-dum.
15 years gone, the airport in Houston, a young Scottish singer stands waiting in line. He's been too long apart from the home of his heart, his young Texas sweetheart, so fair and so fine. But the man at the desk with a uniform shoulders gives uniform reasons and a uniform smile. Takes more than a song, son, the paperwork's wrong, son. Fly back where you came from, just 5,000 miles. Come on, you brave lads, who follow my story. I'll stand at the border and give you my hand. Here's honour and luck, good health and glory to those who would try for the wide Rio Grande. London to Mexico, ready to try again. Walk through a border that thousands have crossed. Join the bold dispossessed of the south and the west. For a white boy from Scotland, no irony lost. But he knows as he reaches the line in Laredo, with the guards looking on and the sun beating down, that the hard law and order that rules on the border has made him at one with the men who are brown. Come on, you brave lads who follow my story. I'll stand at the border and give you my hand. Here's honour and luck, good health and glory to those who would try for the wide Rio Grande. So the next time you walk the wrong side of a border, remember this song as you think on your lot. For every man, Jack, who can take the road back, should think on the fortune of those who cannot. For wetback's a name that they whisper in corners, but there's one man here who will wear it with pride. For a fence or a wall means nothing at all, for a heart full of courage will ne'er be denied. Come on, you brave lads who follow my story. I'll stand at the border and give you my hand. Here's honour and luck, good health and glory to those who would try for the wide Rio Grande. Compadres, amigos who follow my story, I'll stand at the border and give you my hand. Here's honour and luck, good health and glory to those who would try for the wide Rio Grande.
After Jigjam came Eimear Arkins with Ter Avail Rue from Here and There, then Austral with Woodford Nights from Thylacine. After that was The Wide Rio Grande by Ed Miller from his amazing album, Many's the Fine Tale. I do love that album. It's not just that song, it's just a lot of great music on the album. But, and Ed Miller is just brilliant. If you ever get a chance to see him, I don't know, he doesn't do many shows anymore, but he's just fantastic. So make sure you check him out. You can find him at songsofscotland.com. And we finish up the set with Arise and Go. That was The Dirty Bee, La Grondeuse, Mutt's Favorite, Break Your Bass Drone, and The Dirty Bee from their album Meeting Place. Another band that was on the Celtic Top 20 last year. So they've just been cleaning up the awards. Way to go, Arise and Go. I would say that A Meeting Place is also a good album to enjoy some traditional Irish music because, again, there's a lot of great tracks on that album. All right, we made it through almost the entire episode. I hope you had a wonderful time listening to this episode, the Celtic Top 20, the top 20 best Irish and Celtic music songs and tunes of the year. Thank you so much for voting. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. I thank you for letting me to be a part of yours. So I really appreciate all of that. We're going to finish up with one final track. This is Willowgreen, Walking on the Waves, a delightful song. It's from their album Sheila's Brush. I can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for all of us, and I hope it is magical and wonderful, and I want to work with you to make it be just that. Have a wonderful year. Sláinte.
Sunrise and laughter in the rain and whiskey in the darkness. It all feels just the same. Watch the sunset over Eimear, see the twilight merge to dawn, hear the waves caress the shoreline as the island carries on. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. On the marker, and they walk down to the sand. Their silhouettes are on the water as they paddle hand in hand, and it's a game of sweet surrender when there's nothing left to say. But there are moments to remember when these days are long away. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the way. I've been walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. So you look out on the ocean, see the headlands and the strands, and you wonder what horizon will shape tomorrow's plans. And through the turning of the seasons and the cycle of the days, every dream's another reason to let tomorrow waves, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. I am walking these shores all my days, but with you by my side, I am walking on the waves. But with you by my side, I am walking on the waves.
Support for this program comes from international speaker Joseph Dumont, teaching the ancient roots of the Gaelic people. Learn more about their origins at sightedmoon.com. Support for this program comes from Cascadia Cross-Border Law Group, creating transparent borders for more than 25 years, serving Alaska and the world. Find out more at cascadialawalaska.com. Support for this program comes from Hank Woodward. Support for this program comes from Dr. Annie Lurkowski of Centennial Animal Hospital in Corona, California. The Irish and Celtic Music Podcast is produced by Mark Gunn, the Celt Father, and our patrons on Patreon. The show is edited by Mitchell Pearson with graphics by Miranda Nelson Designs. Visit our website to follow the show. You'll find a link to all the artists played in this episode. Todd Wiley is the editor of the Celtic Music Magazine. Subscribe to get 34 Celtic MP3s for free, plus you'll get 7 weekly news items about what's happening with Celtic music and culture online. Best of all, you will connect with your Celtic heritage. Please tell one friend about this podcast. Word of mouth is the absolute best way to support any creative endeavor. Finally, remember, clean energy isn't just good for the planet, it's good for your wallet. Solar and wind are now the cheapest power sources in history. But too many politicians would rather protect billionaires than help working families save on their bills. Real change starts when we stop allowing the ultra-rich to write the energy policy and run our government. Let's choose affordable, renewable power. Clean energy means lower costs, more freedom, and a planet that can actually breathe. Promote Celtic culture through music at CelticMusicPodcast.com.